Well, the meals with the kids can get messy in more ways than just one, but going back to the basics, maybe just what your family needs. So today we learn how to help keep your kids on their best behavior at holiday dinners.
These kids have a lot on their plate, but we're not talking about the chicken, salmon, and tomatoes.
You dab like this and this. You don't do like that and wipe like you're drying your face off.
Tia Young teaches image and etiquette classes at Roy's Restaurant. She helps them learn the right way to dine.
And just put that on your lap like that.
Young dishes out the do's and don'ts. Don't put condiments on your food until after the first bite. Don't bring electronics to the table. And don't mix your food together.
I think manners is a lost art, and I really want to bring it back.
Putting the napkin on the lap has gone by the wayside. Young says eating out is just not easy for some.
When the younger ones, it's hard for them to sit still and not fidget or run around and mix food, on the table or put in their drink.
She also says cutting can be tough. After Tia's tips, Zane Jack has caught on.
You're supposed to put the fork in the left hand and the knife in the right hand. And you're supposed to do it the American way. You're supposed to cut the food, then put the knife with the rugged edges towards you, then switch the fork to the right hand and then eat it.
The class gives the kids a taste of what fine dining feels like.
She said please after she said what she wanted. Perfect.
Young says minding manners at an early age will help these kids bring something to the table later in life.
Now, Tia also says children younger than 5 probably aren't ready to do the fine dining thing. She says start with a fast food restaurant, then practice the fine dining at home and lead by example. Show your kids how to sit at the table and use a napkin. Teach them how to ask for things politely and wait until everyone is seated before they begin to eat. You can also teach them don't yell at the table. Well, now that we're on our way to well-behaved kids at dinner, how about a well-dressed dinner table? Lisa has more on that.
Well, Jimmy, a lovely floral arrangement can be the perfect finishing touch to any dinner table, but you have to be careful. Overly fragrant flowers can interfere with the enjoyment of the food, and oversized arrangements can make it difficult to see across the table. So here to show us how to make the perfect flower arrangement is Jenny Rosenkrantz, gardening expert with the University of Maryland Extension Office. Jenny, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're going to do an arrangement. What do we need first?
Okay, first of all, you're going to need to have a container that's going to be low so that you will kind of keep it together. And then you need some pruning shears. Sharp pruning shears help because you want to make a nice firm cut. You also want to go ahead and have floral foam, and you want to have it soaking with a water solution that has the floral tablets in it, because this is a type of food.
Okay.
And then the other thing you need is branches. I've gone ahead and brought sage and also some green holly. So we're all set to go.
Okay, we're all set. So let's go through the steps. What do we do first?
Well, I'll go ahead and move this out of the way so people can see it as we're going to do this.
Okay.
Because this is the right size.
Okay.
Okay. And there's our little floral foam. Okay. First of all, you want to start with the flowers. So you want to get a couple of flowers. Why don't you go ahead and grab a bunch?
Does it
bunch
matter
here.
what color or
just
which
pull them
ones?
out. That sounds good. You
I've
pull
got
this
a
out.
nice,
I'll put that out.
nice
Okay.
bunch.
Now it's a good idea to cut them underwater because the first thing that goes into the stem at that point is going to be just the stem.
Just the stem.
Yeah, and here, use these because they're
use
easier.
these?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So why do we do it underwater again?
The first thing that goes into the stem at that point is going to be water.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to go ahead and start putting them like into the flower foam. Now what I've done is I've pre-soaked the flower foam so that it's all ready to go.
Oh, so it goes in nice and easy.
Yes, yeah. And then we're going to put clusters together.
Okay.
And so just grab a couple of flowers, and I'll just grab a couple of flowers, and we'll just go ahead and put them all together.
We're just going to cut them under the water and put them in there.
So sometimes you can go ahead and grab a bunch and then do it like that, and then just sort of like stick them together as a bunch. And if you can bunch them together, it makes it look
fuller,
faster.
Okay, so we mentioned that you don't want your arrangement to be too fragrant.
No, and these are chrysanthemums, so these are a tad fragrant, but not horribly fragrant. I would choose something like, there's some beautiful flowers, like some roses are very, very fragrant. I would have them on the side table, but not on the dining room table.
Gotcha.
But lots of roses nowadays are designed not to be fragrant, so that's kind of nice too. So I'm going to go ahead and put I've got 3 of these together. I'm going to put them underwater, cut them real quick.
Okay. That makes it go a little faster.
It does. And then I'm going to go ahead and put them on the side like that.
Uh-huh.
All right, there you go.
Now, as far as colors and things like that, should you worry about, like, you want solid colors on the bottom?
Well, I like to have colors that all kind of go together, which is why we've got the reds with the yellow, and then those bright yellow ones. Those are kind of fun too. So the other thing you want to do is you want to try to get things on the sides so that the whole thing is done, and then you can kind of work to the top.
Okay, I'm still cutting.
Fun?
This could take me a long time.
Well, and the thing is, this can be very, very fast, and the people who are experts at this can do it very, very fast.
Yeah, my mother's real good at this.
Right, but you know, I'm like you. I'm kind of like, okay, I can do one or two of these at a time, and then I have to say, okay, I need to take a break right now.
Now, how long would arrangement like this last?
Well, that's the neat thing. If you've got the flower food in there, it will last for at least a week. Now, if you don't have the flower food, one of the things you can use is a lemon lime soda, not diet. It has to have the sugar in there.
The sugar, okay.
And then a teaspoon of bleach to a quart of water. And
bleach?
Then bleach keeps the bacteria from forming, so you end up with something that's going to be very nice, and it's going to last a while. So that's good.
Okay. Now
we're moving up now.
Okay, we're moving along here. All right, and you brought the sage and the what is that again?
This is holly.
Holly.
And you basically put those in once you've got most of your flowers in. Like when I pull this up, you can see that I put all the flowers in, and then I put these later. And the reason why I brought the sage is this has a fragrance, and a lot of people who cook with sage, you know, you just go ahead and do that and just stick that in. That will give you some greenery too. So yeah, if we put all the flowers in first, we could do that.
Okay, is there anything that we need to do? I mean, you mentioned about putting the sugar and everything in there. Is there anything that we need to do on a daily basis to care for it?
Well, you always want to make sure that there's enough water in here. So what I would do is just redo a little bit of the water on occasion, and you know, just make sure that it doesn't overflow.
Okay. What about sun or heat?
Oh, yeah,
and things
that's true. You don't want to make sure that this is not sitting in full sun, because full sun will actually cause the flowers to get too hot and to wilt, and you don't want that.
Right.
So most people don't have windows open where these are sitting in full sun anyway. So if they're going to be on the dining room table, that's fine. If you're going to take it off the dining room table, off to the side, that would be best.
Okay, but you don't want a hot room.
Well, the cooler the better. The cooler the room is, the longer it stays. That's why florists keep them in refrigerators.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much.
On the other hand, will keep
I'm going to keep working on this. This is beautiful.
Y'all have fun. We're going to be here.
Okay. All right. And if you missed any of this information or would like the shopping list to make your own flower arrangement, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. Once a holiday meal is finished, many of us will spend Black Friday shopping. Many people will visit the stores in Delaware for tax-free shopping, but how does Delaware pay the bills if the shopping is really tax-free? Well, WBOC's Michael Chesney stops by to explain. But first, we know how to dress the table. Now it's time to fill it with food. Dr. Oz has tips to keep everyone healthy this holiday.
Holidays are for breaking bread with loved ones, but make sure you're not poisoning your guests. And I'm not joking. Foodborne illnesses are responsible for 2,500 deaths a year in the U.S. Remember to keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods in your grocery cart and fridge, and store these items in sealed containers. Before you start slicing and dicing, begin by scrubbing your hands with warm water for at least 20 seconds, and then dry them with a clean towel. Also, wash cutting boards and utensils with hot water before and after each use. Use a food thermometer and make sure your food, including meat and fish, reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees for at least 15 seconds. This holiday season, practice kitchen safety so no one ends up with an aching stomach or worse.